Dogecoin to $4.51. That's the title, and let me show you exactly why that is the title of this video. As you come in, make sure that if you want to get the latest updates and the biggest crypto picks, the biggest swings, the trade alerts, everything in between, to be making money in this market and joining our group, subscribing with the notifications on is extremely important. By turning on those notifications, you can see some of these alerts before everyone else, which gives you a big advantage. Definitely worth it to do that and come join our community if you have not yet, as Elon Musk continues to do some amazing things for Dogecoin, and we have other big news announcements and interviews that are coming across the web. As you come in, take a second as well to press that like button. It really does help the video get out to more people, and if you want to see me cover the story, then you have to press like first. Okay, I'm just kidding about that. I'll still cover the story even if you don't press like, but if you do, it actually will help with this video getting out to more people. But this is the big story coming out from the Binance CEO. He is talking about, in this article, Binance founder says cryptocurrencies won't help Russia evade sanctions, making a strong case as to why the media and as to why a lot of the pundits that are trying to argue that sanctions could be absolutely destroyed by cryptocurrency in regards to Russia. Well, all of them are wrong in so many ways, not to mention the fact that cryptocurrency is also helping in Ukraine. Cryptocurrency is allowing people to go outside of the Russian government and have their own economic paths. Besides all of that, here is the compelling case he makes, and this case directly shows why Dogecoin is at the very beginning stages, why cryptocurrency is just barely getting started, and $4.51 is a realistic target for it. Clearly, based on this, you really can't deny it anymore. Here's the direct quote from him. Currently, the media and politicians are spending a lot of effort when it comes to crypto and sanctions. But the truth is, he says, crypto is too small for Russia. If we look at crypto adoption today, there's probably about 3%, that's accurate by the way, of the global population with some kind of crypto exposure. Only 3%. That's not a lot. We're at the very beginning stages of crypto right now. Of those, most only have a small percentage, he says, of their net worth into crypto, less than 10% on average. So there is probably only less than 0.3% of the global net worth in crypto. This percentage applies equally to Russia as well, he says. So there we go, some very strong words coming in when it comes to specific stats to back up his claim there that no, Russia cannot evade sanctions. But the more important and way bigger picture thing here is that we look at how tiny cryptocurrency is compared to what it's capable of being. The use case, the ability for it to actually take over huge sectors of the economy, we're just barely at the beginning of that. And let's go ahead and do the math here. Right now, based on his calculation, which I believe is approximately correct, 0.3% of the global net worth, we can absolutely see cryptocurrency go past 10% of the global net worth. So in order to go from 0.3% where we're at now to 10%, that's approximately a 30x or so. And with that, we would see Dogecoin going to that point of around $4.51. And that's if Dogecoin underperforms compared to what it's capable of. So that's a low side estimate if we do see cryptocurrency taking that 10% of the global net worth, which is absolutely a realistic possibility because of how adoption can grow so quickly on a global stage. So some great words of wisdom coming in there, as we're also seeing other major exchanges, Coinbase, Binance, and the likes, saying that no, they are not going to restrict cryptocurrency trading for Russia. The truth is, right now, the Russian government is censoring people. They are trying to stop them from being able to access their bank accounts if they're protesting against the government. They are taking away people's financial freedom, and cryptocurrency gives an opportunity to not only go outside of the government and go against the government for people in Russia who disagree with what their government is doing. It does that in a way that is clean and efficient and smart. So obviously, yes, it is absolutely true that they should not be trying to censor and stop cryptocurrency adoption for that way. Also, Fed Chair Powell is now saying need for crypto regulation because of what's happening with Ukraine. Continuing to see politicians like this try to call out cryptocurrency and want more and more control over it. Of course they do. That's what politicians always want. More and more control, more power combined with more money. And of course they'll find ways to make money by having more control. It's the way the system works, unfortunately. North Tonawanda residents joined forces to rally against DigiHost Bitcoin mining project. Now, this is an example to where the government actually can do something really positive for cryptocurrency. This is an example where we actually need government policies in place to help, because what's happening here in this situation, this is, by the way, in upstate New York, we have people who are currently having to deal with an extreme bothersome sound that is coming directly from the cryptocurrency mining operation DigiHost, which it's actually pretty disrespectful that they would continue to do this. They basically have this massive mining operation. You can see what it looks like right there. This is happening in the middle of a residential area. Not a good place to do this, and it is causing a massively loud jet engine-like sound. You could even compare it maybe to one of Elon Musk's rockets constantly, and that right there, that buzz has really created a massive disturbance in the neighborhood. Now, the truth is, cryptocurrency mining itself is absolutely an incredible and powerful thing that continues to help across the globe. However, you can't do it, and most don't, by the way. Most are actually responsible with this. Most people who are mining cryptocurrency, most companies, will do it responsibly. They'll go away from a populated area. They'll put things in place to prevent the sound and to prevent problems, but not all of them do that, and the ones who don't do absolutely need to be told they need to leave, or they need to come up with a solution so there's not a noise disturbance there. So there's one example. The government can sometimes be useful in crypto, but for the most part, they need to stay the heck away from it and just let crypto do its own thing, as we continue to also see quotes like this coming out from some of these top exchanges. So this one is from Brian Armstrong, who is currently the CEO of Coinbase, the largest exchange in the United States. He says, "We believe everyone deserves access to basic financial services." And then this is the part where I massively disagree with him. Then he says, "unless the law says otherwise." So basically caving in a little bit there. And now I get it. If you're an operating cryptocurrency exchange and the law literally prevents you from being able to do something, let's say, for example, the USA says you no longer are allowed to let people in Russia trade cryptocurrency, or else you cannot let people and you cannot operate in the United States. If something like that happened, it would be a massive overreach of government power. It would be extremely wrong, and they really can't really do that in an appropriate way whatsoever. If something like that happened and then they literally couldn't do it, that's one thing, but they shouldn't be having language like this that's cave-in type of language, because this seems to indicate there's even the possibility. It's not that you should be able to have everyone deserving access to basic financial freedoms unless the law says otherwise. It should just be period. Everyone deserves access to those services, period. Not unless anything. Make that clear. And it wasn't just him, by the way. We also saw the Kraken CEO, who has said a couple of things that I actually really don't like in the past, but the Kraken CEO also said a similar thing. The exchange won't shut down Russian accounts unless legally required to. So multiple big dogs when it comes to these exchanges are continuing to say things along those lines. No, don't shut it down. Give people access. It allows them to go against the government. It allows them to have their own specific currencies that they can actually hold besides the ruble, which is the Russian currency. That allows freedom. That means they can leave. They can do things with it if they want. They can trade it without the government being able to see it and stop them. If they want to, for example, donate money to Ukraine from Russia, they can do that. And a lot of people actually do and are continuing to make that happen, including a Russian billionaire who owns one of the biggest soccer clubs in the world. Football, if you live in Europe, is what it's called over there. But he is selling it for $3 billion now. And he is going to, this is a big Russian oligarch, he is now going to be actually donating that money to Ukraine, which is pretty incredible. His name is Roman Abramovich. You may have heard of him, you may have not. Chelsea Football Club, worth approximately $3 billion, and the profits or the proceeds from it, as is quoted by him, will be going to Ukraine. So that's a clear, huge example right there of someone going out on a limb who has Russian ties or affiliation, even though technically he lives all over the world. He's a billionaire, right? He can do whatever he wants. Life is pretty easy in terms of where you want to live when you're a billionaire. It really is. Yes, definitely take a second to press the like button. It actually truly does help. If you can, let's try to get all of us together to go up to 300 likes here. Dogecoin Dad, if we can go to 300 likes, I'll go ahead and do to the moon in advance, just in advance before it happens. I've been hearing good news about Doge. Apparently, there's a Doge wallet on iOS coming out, and Ukraine accepts it. Why does it go down sometimes is what you're referring to there. I don't understand. So Dogecoin Dad, Unfortunately, the entire market has been falling in the last 24 hours here when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Let's go and take a look. This right here shows the ranking of the top. Dogecoin, yes, it has been going down, but take a look. Dogecoin down 2.68%. You compare that to in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin down 5.78%. Ethereum also down more, down 3.7%. The entire market down 4.5%, which is approximately double of what Dogecoin has fallen in the last 24 hours. That's a huge, huge difference. Even other cryptocurrencies like Luna down 12%, BNB down 5%. Dogecoin is holding stronger, but when the entire market is falling, it's kind of hard to escape away from that. But the stats don't lie. When we're looking at only approximately 0.03% of the entire global population, of the entire net worth of the globe currently in cryptocurrency, that shows you how much room there is to expand. That shows you how big cryptocurrency is capable of growing. So yes, you can absolutely feel confident holding Dogecoin long term. Can you feel confident holding it short term? It really just comes down to two things. Are you willing to have money sitting on the sidelines that you don't need to use for something like rent or food or anything like that? Yes, be careful, because it can and absolutely has the chance to continue falling some down more before we see the next spike. Now, how much will it fall? It's not going to fall very far if it does. We have a good ceiling and a good floor rather that is in place for Dogecoin. It has a very, very, very low chance of falling more than 30% from where we are now. So that is definitely an extremely comforting sign if you are wanting to hold and wanting to risk a higher percentage of your portfolio into specific cryptocurrencies at the top, like Dogecoin, for example, which is our favorite. We love it, right? But yes, long term though, that's irrelevant, because as long as you're holding, you will absolutely make massive profits in the end, in the long run. If you're young now and you want to retire off crypto, if you want to retire off Dogecoin, you have that in the bag almost certainly. I mean, it's really not even much of a question. We're just at such the beginning of crypto that you really have no way around that. You have to understand it. How is it confirmed? It says, Nick. So the way it's confirmed is that we can easily see the path forward of adoption. We can easily see how it's small right now, and it can grow way faster. That's as close to a confirmation as you can possibly get. I would say that's Dogecoin to $4.51 confirmed indeed, as we're also seeing some haters still when it comes to cryptocurrency. Like, unfortunately, I don't like this. Elon Musk's brother had some unfortunate words to say in regards to crypto. Kimball Musk, the younger Musk brother, who is actually pretty successful in his own right. He does have a decent amount of people who listen to him, which in this case is actually very unfortunate, because even though he has shown some support for Dogecoin in the past, specifically, he is now starting to say some negative things about overall with cryptocurrency. This is what the title of the article says. Elon Musk's brother and Tesla board member says he is, quote, violently opposed, quite strong language, to cryptocurrency. Not just slightly opposed, violently opposed. That's an extreme term there to use with anything, and much less a financial system that actually makes the world a better place. And the reasons he cites in his interview are that it is not good for the environment, quote unquote, which is one of the most tedious and old things that people continue to say over and over again. Just the premise and the ideas behind it are rooted in naiveness. What is it? Naivety? Naivety. A new word there. Naivety. So, something along those lines. Whatever the heck the word is, I don't know. Someone help me out. How do you say naive, but in like a use of this case? I don't know. Someone let me know. Some English teacher down there, you need to correct me. Give me an F on my test this time, and then I'll learn, and then I'll get an A next time. I need help with that. Elon tweeted as well, says Dogecoin Dad. Oh. Let's see what he tweeted. I just got the notification right there. Did he tweet anything interesting? Oh, it's a smiley, or it's a laughing emoji. Man, Elon Musk must be smarter than everyone ever guessed. Dragged the entire auto industry into making electric cars, and then right as they do, push for more oil production and hope that something happens with oil origination so that electric cars can stay high priced. Genius stuff. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. A little bit of a call out there, but in a funny way. basically joking around about it. Elon Musk did say this, which was kind of shocking and surprising. Hate to say it, but we need to increase oil and gas output immediately. Extraordinary times demand extraordinary measures. Also saying, obviously, this would negatively affect Tesla, but sustainable energy solutions simply cannot react instantaneously to make up for Russian oil and gas exports, which, by the way, are more than 35% of the exports that are going into Europe right now. That is a huge hole, a huge demand gap that needs to be filled. And obviously, the USA has a huge amount of oil that can be accessed and can be sold. Elon Musk basically calling on that to happen. Canada also has access to oil. If we look at those reserves and if we look at the untapped oil, that is an area where it can actually start to box Russia out economically from a lot of the oil industry, especially in Europe, which is one of the main reasons that Russia seems to be wanting to get Ukraine, is for these oil reserves and for the oil ability to sell it to other people. But if other people are now saying, hey, no, we don't like how you're doing this, we want to buy oil from the United States instead, then that's going to shift a lot over to the US, but it does require more action to be taken in place to actually get oil in the United States. And in this case, I think all political notions should go aside. I think any and every past connotation and any and every past analysis of this situation should be put by the wayside, because the truth is, right now, it's much better to have literally anywhere else in the world compared to Russia actually providing the oil, because otherwise that gives them a direct incentive to do things like this in order to increase their ability to get more access to oil. By the way, if you don't know, Ukraine has huge oil reserves. They are ranked as the 12th largest oil reserve nation in the entire world, and most of that is still untapped because it has been a challenge for them. It's been difficult for them to actually be able to mine it. They've done things where they've actually contracted out, for example, Shell to come in and mine a lot of the oil, and then they are benefiting directly with profits from it and giving Shell a percentage. So that's one of the ways they do it. But unfortunately, the conflict and the rising tensions have caused Shell to actually leave and not be part of Ukraine, not be helping them. And so it's left them in an unfortunate position. And now Russia wants to capitalize on that and get access to that. That clearly is a huge reason why they're doing this. Is it justified whatsoever? Absolutely not. Could there have been many other things they could have done instead? Absolutely. Could they have negotiated? Could they have done this? Could they have done that? There's so many other options that would have been better here. And this will not, under any circumstances, be allowed to economically help Russia. In fact, it's going to do nothing but hurt them, basically making this a really negative thing altogether. There's really no winners here. And it's just it's unfortunate that this situation even has to happen. But Elon Musk also saying, hold strong Ukraine, and my sympathies as well to the great people of Russia who do not want this. That right there is absolutely something I agree with. Now, we can feel bad for both the innocent people in Ukraine and the innocent people in Russia who are being caught up in this and being swept into it, regardless of if they want it or not. Of course, people in Ukraine don't want it, but many people in Russia as well are not interested in this happening. They do not want it, and yet, unfortunately, it is still happening anyway. But circling back to this, Elon Musk's brother, Tesla board member, is saying he's opposed to it for environmental reasons. What he doesn't realize is that cryptocurrency is so unbelievably more efficient, environmentally speaking, than the current economic systems. That's not even close. We were talking about magnitudes times more, hundreds of times more by low estimates, hundreds of times per transaction. It's not even really a debate. Most people are looking at crypto and saying, oh, look, it's using energy, therefore it's bad. Well, no, this is an actual functioning economic system that is replacing a lot of other economic systems that have been in place before it. And that was going to happen even more and more over time as it starts to get more adoption globally. And so it will become even stronger than it is. And it's only just the beginning, like we've been really pushing hard and hammering down this entire life, because it's true. That's why we're excited about it. That's why there's still an opportunity here. And Kimball, really, he needs to do more research on this. Kimball, I'm happy to send you the facts and the numbers on this so you can look over them yourself and see why you're so unbelievably wrong here. Now, I don't want to go too hard on Kimball, though, because he has been positive on Dogecoin in the past. Dogecoin is significantly more efficient, environmentally speaking, than Bitcoin is. It's not even close. Dogecoin is one of the most efficient cryptocurrencies out there for the environment, especially based on the way it's mined, based on the way the transactions happen across the globe. And even still, though, Dogecoin way better, but Bitcoin is still massively better than the current system. So that's where the disconnect is. That's where people don't understand. There is literally levels to this, you know what. There is. That's how it is. And so we need to just continue to remind people, when you see someone saying that crypto is bad for the environment, just let them know that's not even close to true, because this is an actual revolution in finance that will absolutely make energy and make the financial systems cleaner and greener overall, especially in the long run as more adoption continues on. It's only scratching the surface. Oh yeah, that's definitely true too. There's no question about it. I see some good comments in there, and looks like Elon's brother got that lip job, says risk it all. What? Oh, did he? Oh, well, I you know what? I didn't even notice that. I cannot confirm or deny whether that's true or not. I actually have no idea if he did or not, but an interesting observation coming in there. Definitely though, he does need to do some more research before using those two lips to say things. Which that sounded kind of rude. I don't mean to be rude. I literally just mean he should actually be careful with what he says, because he could end up hurting more than he's helping, which is what's happening here. Because if he convinces people that crypto is bad, then it's going to go back to more other economic systems if he got his way, which he won't, by the way, which is good. But if he did, then it would be an unfortunate event for his specific goals too, not just in general. Doge strong, says Morty. I happen to agree with that fully. Humans are bad for the planet, says Joe. Well, that's a pessimistic way to look at it. I happen to like humans, at least a lot of them. Some of them are bad, but a lot of them are good. I'm a fan of humans. Kraken CEO as well, also saying that he will not shut down Russian accounts. That's another positive thing. However, they're continuing to say things like this unless legally required. Okay, no, you don't have to be saying that. You don't have to be caving in or using weak language that you could potentially cave in. No, tell the government, absolutely not. You cannot stop us. You cannot try to ban Bitcoin or Dogecoin. And even if the specific exchanges are stopped from it, you can still actually do this by using a VPN if you're in one of those countries, or just by simply using decentralized cryptocurrency. And that will give you direct access to be able to have your own financial controls. No one else can take it from you if you use MetaMask or if you use Trust Wallet. Definitely worth doing that and learning how to use those, learning how to be better at them. And you can also join the Patreon if you want to find some good cryptos to put in your Trust Wallet and MetaMask accounts. That's the way to do it, right? So make sure, go check out the Patreon. Link in the description at this current moment in time as my very lips move on the camera. I'm Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you. Oh, by the way, nice comment, Dogecoin Dad. Yes, I'll agree with that, and I will see you in the next video.